Now, one of the main reasons that this channel exists is to expose politicians, political leaders, when they lie, when they show hypocrisy, and when they go against their own rules and rhetoric and try to find out exactly what's going on. At times I struggle because sometimes some politicians know exactly why they're lying, know that what they're about to say is, it's a bit irrational because they don't really care about that issue themselves, or they are hypocrites, they break their own rules. At times I struggle because some of them, I think they might just be stupid. It's just pure ignorance. So I can't tell. I'm going to show you a couple of clips of this lovely guy, Justin Trudeau, or Castro Jr., or as I call him, the rubbish Justin Bieber, who over the last couple of days is continuing to struggle against, in terms of how to handle what's going on in Ottawa, what's going on with the Freedom Convoy. And he's just opening his mouth and just saying random things. I'm going to show you the first one, then I'm going to come back and tell you the problem with this rhetoric.
Individuals are trying to blockade our economy, our democracy, and our fellow citizens' daily lives. It has to stop.
Okay, is it just me? Or that actually sounded like he's talking about himself? I know that he was trying to talk about the protesters and the campaigners against his government, but every single word that came out of his mouth, standing in Parliament in Canada, the individuals who are trying to go against democracy and freedom and civility and security, it's your government's measures that intentionally or unintentionally doing this. So this is weird. Second part, it gets weirder.
We stayed focused on following the science, on promoting public health rules, and Canadians stepped up in their communities. They stepped up for their frontline health workers. They stepped up for each other, and Canada has never been so strong and together as we are now.
Again, okay, they follow the science. Sure, you tried your best, Justin. You tried your best. I get it. Fine. That's the defense that your government is using. Canada has never been as united, he says. The more you continue your policies and the more you make people angry, this freedom convoy and the whole movement that started, that was, even from day one, was not a tiny minority, but of course, in terms of the active people on the streets, there was a small percentage compared to the whole population, but every single day that's growing and growing and growing. So if there's any unity that you talk of by Canadians is actually against you. So again, I'm not really sure what he's talking about. So secondly, why are you trying to take credit for everything that's going actually wrong? And you have to actually apologize. Canada, just like many other countries in the world, is the exact opposite of being united because of what's going on. The fear that these governments have created. And I'm not saying I'm not going radical this side or that side, because there has to be some sort of rationality and objective discussion when it comes to science and medical issues, and I'm not going to get into that. I'm talking about, my issue is always the government measures and the hypocrisy of them, the way they did it, and this one was a good example. The guy completely divided Canada. Joe Biden did the same in America. And ironically, England seems to be, now with all the stuff that's happened, much better than many other places in the world, despite the chaos in Downing Street. To be fair, I think it's actually because of the chaos in Downing Street, the cake gate and all that, Partygate, that people moved on. People from both sides have understood that this is the life that we're living. We're going back to normal. New normal does not exist in England, which is really good. There are still a couple of things that needs to be fixed, but overall, we're not as divided. But the rest of the world, yes, we're all divided, and the rest of the UK as well. So for Justin Trudeau or Joe Biden coming out to lie, to pretend that their nations and their governments and their culture is completely united against this small angry minority, that's a bit of a lie. Stop lying, Justin. That's the problem. So we're going to come back. We're going to have a few more updates for you guys there, especially when it comes to the campaign, the pro-net zero campaign inside the Tory establishment, who are trying to destroy the net zero scrutiny group. And of course, we're going to talk about Alex Belfield being cancelled on YouTube. We might do a late night show, a live show on YouTube to talk about that. Thanks again for watching. Subscribe to the channel. I'm my TC and we are the media.